Good morning, children. Today, our topic is about nucleus. As we discussed in earlier classes, that in a cell there is a dense round body which is more opaque than the surrounding. It is called nucleus. And also, we studied that nucleus is an integral part of the cell which controls the function of other cell organelles. So, this is a model of a nucleus. It is also like cell only. We can't see with a normal microscope also. Only with the help of electron microscope only it is possible to observe the nucleus. So, if we study about the nucleus parts, here there is a membrane surrounded. This membrane is called as nuclear membrane, and inside this nucleus we can find some thread-like structures. These thread-like structures are called as genetic material, and inside the nucleus we can find some dense body. This dense body is called as nucleolus, and the fluid which is present in the nucleus is called as nucleoplasm. Membrane is called nuclear membrane, thread-like structure genetic material, dense body in the nucleus is nucleolus, and the fluid is called as nucleoplasm. So these are the parts of the nucleus. Now we'll study about the functions of nucleus. Okay, so nucleus is an integral organ of the cell. The major role of the nucleus is it controls the functions of other cell organelles. Okay, all the cell organelles which are in the cytoplasm, it will be working under the control of nucleus. This is a major role played by the nucleus. And the second one is it is a storehouse of genetic information. As we discussed that these thread-like structures which are present in the nucleus is called genetic material. So this nucleus is a storehouse of genetic material which is very important for the growth of other cells. Okay, very important this one. And the third one is nucleus helps in the cell division. As we all know that the cell will divide. Okay, group of cells will form tissues, group of tissues will form organs. We have studied in your 8th class only. So the cell should divide and form new cell. Okay, new cell will form from the pre-existing cells. So this cell division is possible only with the help of nucleus. So nucleus plays a major role in the cell division. On the basis of the presence or absence of the organized nucleus, cells are categorized into two types, that is prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Is there any cell without nucleus? Yes, there are some cells without organized nucleus. Okay, it means to some cells the nuclear membrane will be absent. In very rare cases, to some cells there will be no nuclear membrane. In such cases, the genetic material and the plasma which is present in the nucleus, which it will be floating in the cytoplasm itself. Understand? So if you see through electron microscope also, we can't find nucleus because due to the absence of nuclear membrane, we can't see nucleus at all. Such cells are called as prokaryotic cells. Understand? It is nothing but unorganized nucleus. And the cells which contain nucleus means if nuclear membrane is present, we can see clearly the nucleus, and we call those cells as eukaryotic cells. It is organized nucleus, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Understand? So for prokaryotes, nuclear membrane will be absent, whereas for eukaryotes, nuclear membrane will be present. Mostly these prokaryotic cells can be seen in some bacteria called cyanobacteria and blue-green algae. Okay, so in microorganisms called cyanobacteria and for blue-green algae, there will be no organized nucleus. So we call those organisms as prokaryotes. Not only that, human RBC, okay, red blood cells, they doesn't possess nucleus at all. Understand? They are also called as prokaryotes only. And phloem sieve tubes also doesn't have any organized nucleus. So the cells of RBC and phloem sieve, cyanobacteria and blue green algae all will come under prokaryotes, prokaryotic cells. Okay, remaining other organisms all are eukaryotes. This is about nucleus. Now we'll switch on to cell organelles. Cell organelles are the parts of the cell which is present in the cytoplasm. Okay, it is mitochondria, plastids, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, lysosomes and vacuoles. Every cell organelle has its specific function which helps in the growth and development of the cell. Okay, all the life process called breathing, taking food, moving, whatever it may be, all this life process are able to done with the help of these cell organelles only. So in this class we'll study about each cell organelle in detail. First we'll study about endoplasmic reticulum. So this is called endoplasmic reticulum and this is a rough sketch of the diagram. So if you observe the cell with electron microscope keenly, you can see some network of membranes near the nucleus. There are some network of membranes. They are looking like sheets and tubes which are attached to the nucleus. And we call these network of membranes like tubes and sheets are called as endoplasmic reticulum. So the endoplasmic reticulum is one of the important cell organelle which gives basic strength and support to the cell. Okay, it is very important cell organelle which gives strength and support to the cell. Understand? So the main role of the endoplasmic reticulum is transportation of substances from one part of the cell to the another part. From the nucleus, whatever it may be, any substances, it helps to transport to reach from one part of the cell to another part. So through this endoplasmic reticulum only transportation occurs. Sometimes the transportation occurs outside also. So this is a major role played by the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, if you observe in here, you can see some granule-like structures which are attached to this endoplasmic reticulum, and these granule-like structures are called as ribosomes. So ribosomes are also one of the cell organelle which helps in synthesizing proteins. So here the endoplasmic reticulum, it is like a factory. It will give shelter, means these ribosomes are attached to this endoplasmic reticulum. With the help of this only, this endoplasmic reticulum will give surface for the synthesis of different materials. Understand? So ribosomes are attached to the ER. Due to that only, ribosomes are able to synthesize proteins, because proteins are very good for the growth of the cell. So synthesizing proteins is done by these ribosomes only. So this part where the ribosomes are attached to the endoplasmic reticulum is called as rough endoplasmic reticulum. In short, we'll call it as RER. Understand? Okay, but whole endoplasmic reticulum, these ribosomes are not attached. If you observe here, can you see any granule-like structures? No, there are no ribosomes here. Understand? So this area where there are no attachment of ribosomes is called as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. In short, we will call it as SER. Understand? Okay, ribosomes, if ribosomes are attached to ER, then we call it as rough endoplasmic reticulum. If ribosomes are not attached, we will call it as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Understand? RER synthesize proteins, whereas SER synthesize. The main role of SCR is to manufacture fat molecules or lipids. Lipids are none other than fat molecules. It is also very important for the cell function. This is about endoplasmic reticulum. Thank you.